And so I shall. As you desire. You are no match for me! Prepare to die! Let's go! Scene of carnage I have yet to see!
By the creators! What was that thing?
And so I shall.
It's beautiful, isn't it? I wonder what the writing says. Not that we'd leave a fingerprint on it. See how clean it is? Not a single smudge or crack. I wonder what this writing is for. Maybe this isn't... Hey, did you see that? I think something moved inside the mirror. Look, don't you see it? There it is again. Can you feel that? I think it knows we're here. I just need to take a closer look. It's showing me places. I can see some kind of city. Underground. And there's a great blackness. It saw me. Help! I can't look away!
Can you hear me? I am very sorry.
You're awake. You've the god's own luck, Lethaline. You're back at camp. Everyone is worried sick about you. How do you feel? We don't know. The Shem who brought you here saw no sign of him. A Shem brought you back 2 days ago. You don't remember him? He was a Grey Warden and appeared out of nowhere with you slung over his shoulder. You were delirious with fever. He said that he found you outside a cave in the forest, unconscious and alone. He left you here and ran off again. The Keeper's been using the old magic to heal you. She wants to talk to you too. Stay here, I'll get her.
I see you are awake, Dalan. It is fortunate Duncan found you when he did. I know not what dark power held you, but it nearly bled the life from you. It was difficult even for my magic to keep you alive. If he encountered the same thing you did? Yes. The Grey Warden said he found you alone outside a cave, already stricken. Duncan thought there may have been darkspawn creatures inside the cave. Is that true? Like a man, but dark and tainted with evil. Perhaps you fought one in the cave and it wounded you. A mirror. And it caused all this? I have never heard of such a thing in all the lore we have collected. I was hoping for answers when you woke, but there are only more questions. And Tamlen remains missing. He is more important than any lore in these ruins. If he is as sick as you were, his condition is grave. Duncan returned to the cave to search for darkspawn, but we cannot rely on him to look for Tamlen as well. We must go ourselves, and quickly. Do you feel well enough to show us the way, Dalish? Without you, we will not find it. Your fever broke, and the signs of whatever illness snared you are gone. But truthfully, I don't know if you are free from it or not. I wish I knew more. Still, you seem well enough now. We must watch your condition, but without you we will not find this cave. I am relieved to hear it. I am ordering the clan to pack the camp so we can go north. Take Merrill with you to the cave. Find Tamlen if you can, but do it swiftly. Merrill knows a degree of my magic. Tamlen's chances of surviving the journey back are greater with her help. I also wish for Merrill to see this cave and mirror. She has a sense for these things, and could shed light on the nature of this illness. You recovered, and Merrill will too. Still, be careful. Should you come upon this strange mirror again, do not touch it. I would be lying if I said I was not. But whatever knowledge lies in that cave is not worth our children. I send you back with hopes of finding Tamlen, and that is all. If there is any truth to what Duncan said, then darkspawn may show up in these parts soon. We must get away from that horde. But that is not our only concern. Did you encounter any other humans out in the forest? Although you hurt no one, these humans roused their nearby village against us. As everywhere, our people are not welcome here. We have stayed too long, and we must move on, quickly. Go quickly, for Tamlen's life hangs in the balance. Remember that Tamlen needs your help. They destroyed the last horde of darkspawn to threaten the surface centuries ago. It doesn't mean they extinguished them all. Darkspawn are savage, uncultured creatures, more akin to locusts than men. They may have befouled the cave, but they did not build what is there. From the Warden's description, it may have been a temple devoted to an old god. Should we return, I may see it for myself. They are mostly boogeymen, used to frighten human children. In modern times, they are rarely seen on surface lands. But rumor holds the great numbers dwell in the ancient tunnels of the Draganlan, the dwarves. They obliterate all that is in their path. Like a plague of locusts, they spread disease and misery when they come to the surface. An event to be feared, without doubt. The old tomes say darkspawn come in as many varieties as surface creatures. They also say that many darkspawn are seen only during what the humans call a blight. Perhaps your bear monster was one of those. Darkspawn are filthy, diseased beasts that taint the very air around them. The Grey Wardens seem to think your illness came from this taint. Since you did not meet any darkspawn, I don't see how that could be. No doubt he was mistaken. Then do not tarry. Find Tamlen quickly. When Tamlen's life is at stake? Oh, very well. He seemed honorable, and his care for your safety speaks well of him. I trust my judgment. They are the best and most noble of all races, Dalish. Few can achieve their standards. He said he'd been looking for our clan and had a hint of our whereabouts. As I said, you were fortunate. It is possible he sought a volunteer to join their order. Indeed. The Grey Wardens once consisted of the best from all races. I know of no Dalish joining them since the days of the Darkspawn Wars, however. It would be a great honor, though I don't know why any Dalish would choose such a life. Regardless, he has not asked. Not quite, Dalish. After they defeated the Darkspawn long ago, the Grey Wardens' numbers diminished greatly over the centuries. It seems the humans have little use for them if Darkspawn aren't actively raising their lands. I suppose the thought of Darkspawn returning one day did not occur to them. The Grey Warden thinks so. A war may be in the offing. If so, we must get as far away from it as possible. Let the humans fight their battles, as we must fight our own. Then do not tarry. Find Tamlen quickly. Master Island can help you. Go to him and ask to see his stock.
All right.
Is the Keeper sending you back to that cave to look for Tamlen? I want to go with you. Keeper Marathari probably won't approve, but I can help find Tamlen. Tamlen's my friend too. I want to help find him. If Meryl can risk it, so can I. Good. I'll follow you, just to make sure Meryl doesn't go running to the Keeper when you tell her I'm coming.
Why do we have to leave again? We're always going somewhere. Why can't I go to the Shem City?
Can we trust this Grey Warden? How do we know he didn't hurt Tamlen?
Thank the creators. We were sure we'd lose you last night.
As you desire.
So you have returned to us, Dalish. We are grateful you are whole and well.
So you should be. What were you two thinking, wandering into that cave without first coming to tell the Keeper?
I suppose your youth can be forgiven. Sadly, Tamlen pays the price.
Losing you would be a terrible crime, Dalish. You belong to more than just yourself, or do you not remember?
Let us tell these children of the fall of the Dales. You can honor me by sharing in the telling. Come then. Help me as I go along.
Children, hear of the fall of the Dales. Hear the tale of what makes you Dalish.
Would you care to begin, Dalen? Yes, slaves to a terrible empire, the humans built on the darkest magic. When it fell, we became free. We built a homeland in the Dales, worshipping the creators, and rebuilding the culture and history we lost in our long years of slavery. They were resentful, because we would not worship their gods, and because we put our people first. Over the years, their nations grew cold toward the Dales. In their eyes, we were blasphemers and cruel tyrants. And so the Dales fell. They took our lands and dispersed our people, forcing us to live in their cities and abandon our gods. But many of us refused to relinquish our ways. We instead chose to scatter to the winds, wandering the lands. To survive and preserve our culture, the clans stay apart until the day the Elvenon have a homeland once more. We are the Dalish, keepers of the lost lore, walkers of the lonely path. Thank you for your forbearance, Dalen. You remember both the tale and the oath of the Dales perfectly. I will let you get back to your tasks. I pray you find Tamlen quickly. The one who brought you back? Very little. He seemed decent enough as humans go. As for Grey Wardens, they're heroes without a doubt. Members of our own clan joined their ranks in ages past. Only that they eat living flesh and lurk in underground tunnels, once ruled by the Dergenlen, the dwarves. In the last blight long ago, the Grey Wardens all but wiped them out. Should they return, all races will shudder. I've never heard of such a thing. But in the days of ancient Arlathan, we lived free and spread far across the continent. We were as varied as the Shemlen, though fewer in number. Perhaps some of us lived in caves then, but all knowledge from that era is lost. Now that's something I rarely hear. Of course. Ah, yes, the Lost City. Before the Shemlen enslaved us, even before they came to this part of the world, our people lived in glorious Arlathan. Legends say that our ancestors were immortal, and we possessed magic the Shemlen could only dream of. When the humans enslaved us, they took away our language, our history, and our immortality. We quickened to the pace of life and retained nothing of ourselves. We were slaves for so long that even when we became free, there was little for us to recover. If books still exist, I do not know of them. Perhaps they have no choice. Dalish clans are scattered to the winds and rarely gather, which makes us difficult for any organized effort to destroy. And why bother? We have nothing they want. No land, no treasure, and we always move on, allowing no one to grow too angry with us. Some might see this as cowardly, but we are proud. We are the last, and we will survive. They remain in human cities, forgetting all they once had. We call them flat ears, for they differ little from their Shemlen masters. A few may return, but we must accept that they know nothing of the lore, or why we keep it. We can hope to find a new home one day, where the Dalish and the Flat Ears will build a land greater even than Arlathan. We shall teach the Flat Ears the lore they lost, and perhaps they will teach us to understand the Shemlen at last. That is the only way we shall truly live in peace. Then I'm sure you have much to do, unless you've other questions. Of course. May the gods guide your path, Dalen.
Delighted.
Thank the creators. We were sure we'd lose you last night.
I miss Tamlen. I want him to come home.
Ah, it's good you're well. You weren't here when Paul arrived, were you?
I've heard of you. Everyone is talking about you and the other missing hunter. A Grey Warden brought you back here. I hope you find him soon.
Paul's a flat ear. He arrived here a few days ago from the human lands.
I heard rumors in a nearby human village that a Dalish camp was close, and I hope to find your hunters in the forest.
You were fortunate I didn't shoot you, Paul. I thought you were a Shem, and a bandit at that. You're not the first city elf to rejoin his people. I'm sure you'll find life among us more satisfying than with the Shems, if no less harsh.
In the alienage, we hear terrible stories about the Dalish. They aren't true, right? I'll do my best. I hope we find your missing friend very soon.
As you desire.
I'm glad you've recovered. Once we find Tamlen, we can concentrate on the journey northward.
Thank you for the bow, Master Island. It is light and sturdy, much better than the one I made last year.
You are more than welcome. My father made it and used it in battle against the Clane tribes.
I will carry it with honor.
We are all the same clan. His hand is as my hand. I have relinquished nothing. It was my father who first spoke of the Vir Tanadal, the three ways of the hunter. The first is the Vir Asan, the way of the arrow, to reach for our goal unrelenting. The second is the Vir Borasan, the way of the bow, to bend but not to break. The last is the Vir Adalen, the way of the wood. We are as ancient as the forests, each tree a part of the greater land. All Dalish are united in this. One day, we shall have a homeland again. Then I am proud to tell it. Our clan was one of the first to flee the Dales. When we came to Ferelden, the fiercest of the Shemlen were the barbarians known as the Clane. We didn't wait for them to attack us. Every Dalish clan in Ferelden united to bring the battle to them. In Ferelden, in Orlais, wherever there are lands the humans cannot hold, we bring our Aravels. You met some at the last gathering. The ensuing battle went well for us. That day we carved out our reputation of being the deadliest archers. Our arrows won us the right to wander these woods at will. It was this very bow that my father used that day.
Thank you for the tale, Master Island, and especially the bow. I will honor its history.
One of my own crafting, perhaps? It may not have a history, but you'll provide one for it soon enough, yes? May the creators guide your path.
Have you fully recovered? I heard the Keeper was confounded, that she had never seen anything like it.
When I grow up, I want to be just like you.
By the creators, it is so good to see you whole and well. I was so worried. All that time you were ill, the Keeper didn't know if you were going to live or die. I've been outside the Keeper's tent the whole time. I have never been so relieved as when I heard you would pull through. What happened? Everyone says Tamlen may be dead. That's awful. He's been a good friend to you since you were fledglings. You must be more careful. Your mother and father, may they rest in peace, would be horrified to see you take such risks. What happened to them is a sad tale, and it's in the past. Reopening old wounds benefits no one. True. Perhaps you're old enough to hear this, though it hardly seems like the right time. Very well. If I do not tell you now, you'll only wonder. Your mother was a hunter, one of the finest, and your father was the Keeper before Marathari. He was with us for a very long time. Your mother was from another clan, and her elders did not approve of the match. She and your father had to meet in secret. One day, bandits caught them alone in the forest. Your father was killed, but your mother escaped. Yes, but also city elves, too. Those of our kind living with humans do not hold to the old ways. Your mother held to life long enough to give birth to you. But grief racked her heart. One night she simply walked into the moonlight and never returned. She just couldn't carry on without your father. The clan decided not to discuss this around you, lest it poison your heart with sadness. Our people have learned to live with much sorrow. It seemed only right that we not dwell on it. Your mother did leave you a gift, something of your father's for you to have once you were older. Perhaps the time has come. Take this key. You'll see some chests behind the storage Aravel by the Halapen. One of them was your mother's. Its contents are yours if you wish.
Anithara, it's good to see you recovered. They fare well. The Keeper called for the clan to move on, and they will be ready to take us. One is heavy with calf, but it shouldn't be a problem. May I ask of Tamlen's fate? Some say the clan will leave before we find him. The Hala mourn our fallen. No sound is more heart-wrenching than their mourning cry. At least they won't be crying over you. They are quite fond of you. I admire them for their strength and pride. They are equals, not servants like the Shemlin horses. At any rate, I do not envy the Keeper's decision. I'll pray for Tamlin's safe return.
All right. Delighted. And so I shall.
The Keeper told me I'm to accompany you back to those caves. As her apprentice, I may see something you missed. But our main objective is to find Tamlen, of course. We must make haste. He may not have much time. A little, but the Keeper cured you. How dangerous could it be? Even if I get sick, finding Tamlen or something valuable will be worth it. That depends on the Keeper. I thought we're supposed to go alone. She is. I suppose I needn't worry about it then. Are you ready? Enough to pique my interest and my concern. You can explain the rest on the way. Then let us make haste while daylight lasts.